So today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Krishnanand Prabhuji, Keshavananda Prabhuji, sorry. And today Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on the topic Srimad Bhagavatam. We are going to start new chapter from 4th canto, Dhruva Maharaj returns home. We are starting from verse 1. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, are you present on the call? Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, I'm there. So can you hear me properly, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dhanavad pranam all goes to Srila Prabhupada, all goes to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll hand out the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so yeah, I think today we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 9th chapter, 1st verse. And let's see how much we can understand this verse. Before that, let me offer obeisances. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prasarane Nirvisheshunyavadi Paschadeshtar. So we are discussing this 4th canto, 9th chapter, 1st verse. And this is about Dhruva Maharaj returning home. That's this topic all about. Now, so I'll just read the first verse and then we can discuss. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Maitreya Vacha. This is 491. Ta evam utsanna bhayarukrame pitvan namah preyestrivistakam sahastra shisha api tato varnata madhoganam bhittaditrikshayata. This is the great sage Maitreya told Vidura. And the demigods were thus reassured by personality of Godhead. They were freed from all fears, and after offering their obeisances, they returned to their heavenly planets. Then the Lord, who is not different from Sahasra Shirsha incarnation, got on the back of the Garuda, who carried him to Madhuvan forest to see his servant Shiva. Now, this is the perfect Gaya Srila Prabhupada. The word Sahasra Shirsha refers to personality of Godhead known as Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Although the Lord appeared as Kshirodaksha Vishnu, he has been described here as Sahasra Shirsha Vishnu because he is not different from Garbhodaksha Vishnu. According to Srila Sanatana Goswami in his Bhagavatamrita, the Sahasra Shirsha personality of Godhead who appeared at the time was an incarnation known as Krishna Garuda. He created the planet known as Dhruvalok for the habitation of Dhruva Maharaj. Okay, so here is the verse. Now what is happening is Dhruva Maharaj in the previous chapter I don't know whether devotees know or not, but this topic of Dhruva Maharaj, it is very interesting because Dhruva is the only devotee who actually got darshan, got to see Lord face to face in 6 months. There is nobody. People got 60,000 years meditating. Vishwamitra, or maybe thousands of years. Other munis like, so for example, Kardama Rishi, Kashyap Muni, they have been meditating for thousands of years. And here Dhruva, a boy who is a 5 years old boy, and he meets God face to face in just 6 months. Now the question is, how is this possible? And the answer to this is in the name of Dhruva. The meaning of the name Dhruva is, Dhruva in Sanskrit means, Dhruva is Sanskrit, but in English it means determination. Dhruva means determination. And that is, by the way, the qualification to see the Lord fast. If you want to fasten the process, and that is called as mumukshu, that is sometimes called as mumukshutva. Moksha is liberation, but mumukshutva is who wants liberation, who desires, who hankers for liberation. So if you want to see Lord face to face very fast, and if you want to advance quickly, that all of us want, then we have to be like Dhruva. And what's the meaning of Dhruva? Meaning is determination. Determination is like a catalyst which fastens the process of devotion. But the whole question is, what is determination? That's the whole question. Any person can say, I am determined. But then how do we quantitatively measure determination? Another question can be, what is the definition of determination? What do you mean by that? And how do I get determination? And how do we know that I am determined or not? How do we measure it? All these questions have to be understood if we really, and have to be answered properly, objectively and scientifically, so that we can really gain the benefit from this whole pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. And the answer to these questions primarily lies in the names of Dhruva's father and mother and mother, and her stepmother. That's what this story is all about. This story of Dhruva can also be, the names in this pastime can be understood also allegorically there, and many acharyas, they comment on this pastime like that. There is a hidden meaning in names which will help to understand how Dhruva is born, how determination is born, and what kind of this boy was that he got to see Krishna face to face. Or in other words, what is determination, true determination, that can lead us to see Krishna as quickly as possible. So the question is, what is determination? That's the question. How do we define it? Let's deal with this first question. How do we define determination? Okay, so Srila Prabhupada gives the answer in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Actually, Srila Prabhupada gives answer to this question in Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can find definition of determination in all these three books. And also Prabhupada mentions about determination. So let's see how does Bhagavad Gita define liberation as? So how does Bhagavad Gita define determination as? So now there's a verse 10.8, 10 chapter 8 verse Bhagavad Gita, and there Krishna mentions Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva prasante mam buddha bhav samanvita. And if you see, so this is a very common verse, so everybody knows the meaning. I don't need to go into the meaning, but if you see the word-to-word meaning, buddha bhava samanvita. Now if you see the word-to-word meaning, buddha, Prabhupada writes as intelligence, and then bhava word Prabhupada translates as determination. Now literally bhava means emotions. Prabhupada writes as determination, and that's the whole point. Determination is emotions. What is determination now? What is Krishna? Krishna is supreme controller? No, that's his characteristic. Krishna is the cause of all causes? No, that's the characteristic. So what is Krishna? Krishna is bliss. Raso Vaisaha. What is fire? Heat? No. Heat is a symptom of fire. Light? No. Light is a symptom of fire. What is fire? Energy. So what is determination? Determination is emotions. Or let's say strong emotions. Bhava are not ordinary emotions. Bhava are strong emotions. So determination of strong emotions. Or in other words, you can say strong emotions which are mixed with buddhi. Buddha bhava samanvita, with intelligence. So strong emotions for Krishna, which are combined with intelligence or knowledge of Krishna. Strong emotions which are based on true, on solid foundation of knowledge of Krishna, not just sentimental emotions. Those kind of emotions are called determination. In other words, if you want one word for determination, that's conviction. Conviction. And many times Prabhupada says in his lectures and his letters, determination means conviction. Conviction. So that's what is determination. The more we are convinced that the aim of life is Krishna, and we have to attain Krishna in this life before we die. We have to attain love of God in this life. The more we are determined, that's what is determination. This is the way how we define determination. And conviction, Prabhupada defines in Bhagavad Gita purport, I think in second chapter or somewhere, and also in Nectar of Instruction, that conviction is the devotee is convinced about the goal of life. Conviction is related to goal, the goal of life. If you're convinced about the goal of life, then your 50% journey is finished. It's over. Because once the goal is fixed, then automatically the person will find some way or the other to reach the goal. It's natural. When the goal is not convinced or fixed, then you will not find the way. Even if you find the way, you will not even walk on it. So that's determination. Determination is defined as conviction in the goal of life, conviction in the goal of love of God, conviction that love of God is the goal of life, and whatever choices I make in my life, that will be to attain that goal. That is determination. So determination is conviction, and conviction means. So what does conviction means? Conviction means having strong emotions, which are based on solid knowledge about Krishna, and that means that whatever we choose in life, whatever actions and thoughts and feelings we choose in life, we choose in such a manner that it helps to attain love of God. That's full stop there. That's all. That's determination. Nothing more, nothing less. So that is Dhruva. That is by the way Dhruv. Dhruv was fixed in his goal. He wanted to meet God. And in fact, Narad Muni, he actually dissuaded and discouraged Dhruva not to go in forest and do meditation, because Narad Muni has his own logic for actually discouraging Dhruva. He said, "You are a kid, 5-year-old. The forest is dangerous to animals, and your mother is weeping, and you should go back. When you become adult, then you can do all these kind of austerities. It's not for kids." But Dhruva said, "Come on." Dhruva said to Narad Muni, he said to Narad Muni, if you can't encourage me to go to meditation and to find God, at least don't discourage me. And just basically get lost. That's what Dhruva said. I don't want to talk to you. If you want to discourage me, just go on your own way. That's it, finish. Let me go on my own way. That's how determined he was. And when he went to the forest, by the way, so Bhagavatam doesn't give so much details, but other Puranas like Vishnu Purana gives much details, and Vishnu Purana says that when Dhruva was doing meditation, of course the first thing we know from Bhagavatam, by the way, before that Dhruva even stopped drinking water, then stopped breathing. That's how determined he was. For him, breathing was an obstacle on the path of devotion. By the way, that's Dhruva. For us, we can't even imagine in the wildest of dreams that dreaming is an obstacle on the path of devotion. In fact, if somebody will tell us like that, he's a crazy man. So that's what determined Dhruva was in attaining God. He's not breathing, and by the way, and Vishnu Purana says that the demigods were really testing him. They were really trying to stop him because demigods were afraid. And that's the word used here, Utsana Bhaya. Now we come to the verse. The first line says, Taevam Utsana Bhaya Urukrame. Taevam means those demigods. They were really fearful. Utsana Bhaya means, Utsana means being freed. But they were really fearful. Why? Because they thought Dhruva is doing meditation to destroy the universe, or to take their position and rule over them. That's what they were thinking. Because demigods are not omniscient. They don't know why he's doing meditation. Only God knows. And according to this verse, when demigods approach God for help, Supreme Personality of Godhead told them, well, you don't really need to worry, because in the last line of the verse it says, Madhur Vanam Bhritya Didikshyavata. Bhritya means servant. So God told, well, I'm going to meet my servant Dhruva. So by Bhagavatam, by mentioning this word Bhritya, that servant, Krishna then, after meeting demigods, he went to see his servant. By saying that, Bhagavatam is indicating that he actually indirectly told demigods that you don't need to fear, because I know his intentions, why he's doing meditation. He's my servant. Come on. And he's doing meditation to please me, and not to destroy you, or not to take a kingdom. That's childish. My servants don't do that. And that's why I'm going to see him, because I want to see him. And so I'm not just going to see him because you said so, or maybe to stop him from his meditation, because anyway his meditation is not going to harm you. But in fact, Dhruva's meditation stopped the breathing of the entire universe. That was the whole problem. Dhruva stopped his breath. So Krishna said, that will be easy task, because if I tell him, he will just not do all those austerities. So you don't need to be worried about that. So by saying this, by using this term Bhritya, Bhagavatam indicates that demigods were a little peaceful, because they understood. Anyway, his meditation is not to usurp or take our kingdom. His intentions are clear. So that's what was Dhruva. But anyway, before meeting Supreme Personality of Godhead, demigods were really fearful, and this verse indicates that, because this verse says that when demigods went to Supreme Personality of Godhead, they were very fearful. And by meeting Supreme Personality of Godhead, their whole fear was, the whole fear went away. They were freed from all the fears. It says this verse says, Utsanabhaya. They are freed from all those fears. This means that they were fearful. This verse indicates that they were very fearful. And Vishnu Puran explains how fearful they were. They were so fearful that they were trying to actually destroy the meditation or disrupt the meditation of the Dhruva. And they did so many tricks. They produced monsters all around Dhruva, just shouting and howling, and then dangerous animals like lions, and then like snakes. Demigods took form of snakes and they climbed on the body of Dhruva, but Dhruva didn't move. There were monsters, he didn't move. There were lions, he didn't move. Demigod even came in form of his mother and started crying, Dhruva, please open your eyes, see me, and I've come to meet you and I'm suffering in this forest. But he didn't even move what to say of opening his eyes. He was determined. Without seeing God face to face, I will not open my eyes. I will not even breathe. That's what is a qualification to see Krishna face to face as quickly as possible. That's catalyst of devotion, determination. Now, having defined determination, what is the cause of determination? How do we get determined? That's the whole point. How do we get determination like Dhruva? What to do? Now, what should we be doing? That's the whole point. Because we are not determined like that, like Dhruva. Of course, we are not even determined like even 1% of what Dhruva had determination. So, what to do? And the answer is in the names of his mother and father. And the name of his mother is Suniti, by the way, Suniti. And the name of his stepmother is Suruchi. And the name of his father is Uttanpad. So Dhruva is born of Suniti and Uttanpad. The combination of both, father and mother, because he's the son. So that's the point. Determination is born of, the cause of determination is Suniti. Suniti means morality, virtues. Actually, literally, niti means policies or politics, but a good politics. And Suniti means morality, a system, a politics, a way of leading life, a way of managing people, that is politics, which produces good values in the people. That's what is all politics about. Politics not about bad things. Politics about managing people so that they become good. Otherwise, what's the point of managing people? Isn't it? So, Suniti means morality, virtues. And Uttanpad. Uttanpad means, Pad means feet, Uttan means beyond. Or, of course, here it means, of course, here Pad also means, it means feet, but Pad also means shlokas, the verses, a knowledge. Pad means knowledge. So knowledge, and Uttanpad means excellent knowledge. So determination is born of good values, divine qualities, which Krishna says in 16th chapter, and knowledge of Krishna. And that's what, if we want to be determined, we have to have these two. We have to have Suniti and Uttanpad. We have to have good values, good qualities in life, morality. So let's not say morality. Morality is it's a very mundane term nowadays. So let's say devotional qualities. or divine qualities, what Gita Prabhupada translates as. Divine qualities like 16th chapter, you can read that verse, or 13th chapter, you can read those 18, 19 divine qualities, whatever, like humbleness, simplicity, um, and then sense control, mind control, all these tolerance, all these great qualities which a devotee should have, undisturbed amidst disturbances. All these qualities being equal in all the circumstances. So that's qualities and knowledge of Krishna. Now, the base of all qualities, the mother of all qualities, is selflessness. Selfless. So devotees should learn how to be selfless. The queen of all qualities is humbleness. That's what we know. We always emphasize on humbleness. But the mother of all qualities is selflessness. So devotee must learn how to be selfless. Devotee must learn how to do devotion for others and not just for himself. How to live for others and for God. And knowledge. And knowledge means philosophy. We should understand philosophy nicely. We should understand philosophy of Krishna. We should understand Bhagavatam. We should understand Gita. We should understand good philosophy. Don't be sentimental. Don't be sentimental and think without understanding philosophy, you will go back to order. It's not possible. We will not be determined. Determination will be weak. We might go back to order, but it will take time. But the more time you spend in the material world, the more at risk you are, because any time we can fall down. Illusion, Maya is ready for us. She is ready. So we need to escape from here as fast as possible. So that's the cause of determination. Knowledge and divine qualities. Our philosophy of Krishna and selflessness. That's what we have to learn. And then we become determined. This is one way to see this. Now, Srila Prabhupada also says the cause of determination in some of his lectures. Prabhupada says, so Prabhupada says that the cause of, the more the sense controlled you are, the more the determined you are. So another answer for the cause of determination is sense control. And we can understand that. When you have knowledge and when you have divine qualities, then you get sense control. You can't get sense control without good understanding of philosophy. You cannot get that. And you cannot get sense control without actually good qualities in your life. Your mind will be always disturbed. Good divine qualities helps you to fix your mind. Divine qualities helps you to fix you in pure mode of goodness and not go in passion and ignorance. So your mind is not disturbed. And knowledge helps you to fix mind on one point on Krishna. So that's what Prabhupada says, the cause of determination is sense control. And Prabhupada also says, the determination can be destroyed and weakened only by one thing, when you lose sense control. And that's the whole point. Suruchi was stepmother of Dhruva, who was actually responsible for Dhruva to actually leave his home. Suruchi. Now Ruchi means attachment. And Suruchi means extreme attachment, extreme obsession for sense gratification. So Prabhupada says, sense gratification. The more the person is doing sense gratification, the more his determination will be weakened. That's what the point is. The cause of determination is knowledge and divine qualities, and the destruction of determination, the weakening of determination is due to sense gratification. As soon as As soon as we do sense gratification, determination will be weakened. And we can see this. We can see this. We can see this. Brahmacharis who indulge in sense gratification, they fall down. They can't be determined to remain brahmacharis. And we all see this. Just by doing little sense gratification, we become weak. We feel weak. We feel as if we don't have any strength to chant, to preach. It's so frustrating inside. So that is how determination can be destroyed, sense gratification. That's about the cause of determination. And how we can get determination and how we can destroy it ourselves. But the whole point is, how do we know that we are getting determined or not? I mean, we can assume we are getting determined. But how do you know objectively that we are determined or not? Now, to know whether we are getting determined or not, is there any test? Is there any objective sign? So, yeah, there is a sign. How do we know that we have determination? And the more you're determined, the more your determination increases, one thing is going to happen in your life. One thing is going to happen in your life. And that is so you can check your determination. The proper determination, a good determination, will produce vairagya, or renunciation, or detachment from all that is material and matter. If that is happening, this means your determination is increasing. Detachment, vairagya, even from your own self, will no longer be attached to yourself. If that is happening, you will no longer be attached to your own plans and ideas. If that is happening, when you are disowning yourself, that is happening. When you start to hate your own selfishness and your present condition in which you are selfish, then that is determination. Then this means your determination is increasing. That's how we understand that determination is increasing. Srimad Bhagavad Gita says that, by the way, Vishnam Tandakata Papam Yajana Punya Karmanam Tesham Dandavinarmukta Bhajante Maam Dridhavrita. When a determination is increasing, this means Tesham Dandavinarmukta. You go beyond dualities. You start going beyond dualities. That is how we know our determination is increasing. Going beyond dualities means you are not affected by this material world. You're undisturbed in the problems which are surrounding you. So how to know we are getting determined? When you become detached from your own selfishness. And the second is when you're undisturbed, even if even so many disturbances all around you. Tesham Dvanda Vinarmukta. Dvanda means disturbances. Dvanda means dualities. Dvanda also means disturbances. Because of dualities, your mind is disturbed, whether to do this or not to do this, whether this is right, whether that is wrong. So you'll be completely undisturbed even if you're surrounded by so many disturbances. That is the test of determination. That is when you will know you are really determined. So by these two signs we can understand that our determination is increasing. One is renunciation from your own self, from your own selfishness, and the second is undisturbed, even amidst disturbances, even if disturbances surrounding you. Millions of disturbances to be undisturbed. No problem. Like Prabhupada. This movement was full of problems, inside, outside, up and down, front and back. But Prabhupada was undisturbed, because he would depend on Krishna. He used to write the letters. So that's how we know that our determination is increasing. So that's what is Dhruva all about. That's his whole pastime all about, Dhruva Maharaj. That's what Dhruva is Dhruva. And that's what this verse says. Demigods were freed from fear. Because of fear, they went to Urukrama. Urukrama is one of the name of Krishna, which means whose actions are uncommon. Krame means so Uru means thighs, or Uru means winning. Krame means actions, and Uru means uncommon. So whose actions are uncommon, that's Uru Krama. So when demigods went to meet Supreme Lord, and the name of Supreme Lord here is used as Uru Krama, that means nobody can understand his actions. Then their fears were, so the fears vanished. They were freed from all fears. Because they complained to Supreme Personality, what is that this boy, because of the austerities, he has stopped his breath. And the whole universe is suffocating. What to do? But they were actually not really fearful of suffocation. They were more fearful of their own positions. And they will lose their heaven. And they went, complained to Urukrama. And Urukrama, whose actions are uncommon, he actually settled demigods. He made them peaceful. I think no problem. I'm going to see that boy, and for your sake, I will stop his meditation. No problem. We'll go back. But anyway, Vritya Dirvikshara. Vritya means he's my servant. Anyway, he's my servant. Dirvikshara, and I will go to see my servant. And you don't need to fear from him, because as I said, his intentions are clear. He doesn't want your kingdom. He doesn't want to kill everybody in the universe. He is a mere boy. He is meditating on me, and he's so fixed his mind on me because he's my servant. That's why he stopped his breath. He's forgotten to actually even read. He's so immersed in qualities and pastimes of my pastimes. He's such a great devotee. He even doesn't remember that he has to breathe. And I'm going to meet him. And he'll go back. So they were Utsamnamaya, they were freed from fear because they took shelter of Urukrama. And Tribhustafam means they went back to the heavenly planets. So what did Krishna do? Sahasrasrishapi. So Krishna in the form of Vishnu, he climbed his Garud. And Madhurvanam is Madhuvan, which is actually Mathura. So it seems Dhruva was doing meditation in Mathura Mandal. And I think in Brajmandal Pratama there is a place where Dhruva did his meditation. I think so, Madhuvan. And he went to Mathura, and there Dhruva was doing meditation. And even Vritya Dirvikshara, he went to see his servant. Now here's the point. This verse is actually showing how much God loves his servant. How much God loves his servant who is determined. Actually, Krishna likes determination. Actually, what Krishna wants to see in us, he doesn't want to see that we are making temples, or we are to distribute books, or even that we are chanting the names. Not just that. He wants to see that how much determination we are making temple, how much determination we are distributing books, how much determination we are chanting. So there is a lecture of Prabhupada, by the way. And that lecture of Prabhupada says, yes, Krishna wants your fruits and flowers and water, but he wants to see how much determined you are to offer him fruits, flowers and water. So you tell to Krishna, yes, I want to offer you fruits. Krishna says, okay, I'm ready, please offer me. And he wants to see how much determined you are to offer him fruits and a flower. And everything you have, your thinking, your feeling, your willing. And Srila Prabhupada says, You don't even need to offer him flower and fruits and water. You don't need anything from this material world. You can offer so many things which God has already given you. He has given you thinking. He has given you feeling. He has given you intentions or willing. He has given you emotions. He has given you knowledge. He has given you the capacity to sense, to control your senses. And you offer in that sense. And become perfect. That's what Krishna wants to see. That's what Krishna wants to see. How much determined you are to offer your thinking. How much determined you are to not engage your thinking in this material world. How determined you are to offer your feelings. In fact, the verse Patram Pushpam Phalam Tuyam is Krishna doesn't want just a flower from you. Come on. Krishna has so many flowers and fruits. Krishna, flowers represent feelings. Some commentators say like that. Fruits represents willing, your actions. And water represents your thinking, clear thinking like water. That's what Krishna wants to see. So that's why Krishna went to see his Krishna. Bhagavatam calls, Krishna tells that he is my servant. It's a big thing, come on, to tell any devotee his servant. It's an achievement. Krishna tells that he is my servant, he or she. That's the perfection of life. Because we can call ourselves servant, but the whole point is that Krishna wants to call us as his servant. Perhaps not now, because now we are not up to the mark. And he might say, yeah, he's trying to become my servant. Dhruva is my servant. Prahlad is my servant. Ambarish is my servant. They are my servants. These people, they are trying. Okay? I'll help them. So Dhruva calls his servant and Didriksha, and he goes to see him. That's what is the point. Krishna reciprocates his love with Dhruva. He reciprocates his love with Dhruva by personally going to see him. He could have stopped the meditation of Dhruva just from there, just from Vaikuntha. He could have done that, but he didn't do that. He could have spoken, and Dhruva would have heard his voice or done something else, but he didn't. He went to see him because he wanted to see this devotee, Dhruva, who had this extraordinary quality of determination. He was impressed by him, by the way. He was impressed by his determination, by his dedication, which was an expression of his love, which increased his love millions and millions of folds of time. And it compelled Krishna to come to him. That love, that determination of Dhruva to attain love of God, that compelled him. So that is what is Bhakti Diksha. That is what is loving dealings between God and his devotees. God and his devotees. Sometimes devotees go to see God, but God is going to see devotees. That's interesting. That's what is uniqueness of this quality of determination. If you determine, God will come. That's the perfection of life. If you are even 0.01% less than perfection, then God is not going to come and see you. He's not going to come and see you. This means Dhruva was 100% perfect. His determination was 100% perfect. There were no loopholes there. There were no pitfalls. And he was fixed on his goal to see Krishna face to face. And here's the point I meant to say. Vishnu comes on Garuda. He climbs his Garuda. He actually comes on Garuda. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Your voice is breaking in between.
So now it's okay?
Yeah, now it's okay.
So, So that's the point. So Vishnu climbed his vehicle, Guru, and he came there. Another Vishnu is so loving to his devotees that when Gajendra was in trouble, he wanted to come there so fast and save him that he didn't have even time to climb on Guru. He said, Guru, your speed is slow. I want to go there very fast. He's about to die. And I don't want any of my devotees to die because I promised my devotees never perish. So that's the word didriksha. Didriksha means iksha means to see. And drik means to see. But didriksha means intense desire to see. The wishing to see him. Prabhupada translates wishing. God wishes to see his servant. That is perfection. That is what we want. Our devotion should be such that even Krishna decides, oh, let me go and see my servant and express my love for him by personally taking pains to go and see him. That's what we want. That's what our devotion should be, of course. Of course, we don't want God to come and take pains to come and see us. In fact, there was an Alvar, a South Indian saint in Kumbakonam. I think it was K.R. Nobich Alvar, but it was one Alvar. And in Kumbakonam he went and he said to God, oh my Lord, I have an intense desire to talk to you. And the deities started sitting. And even today you go, all Vishnu deities are lying, but that deity is half sitting and half lying. In between it is. Even today. Because then Vishnu wanted to get up to talk to him. And in between Alvar told, no. Please don't take pains to get up and talk to me. Please don't do that. So he just stopped in half of the way, in middle of the way. So that deity is like that. So that is God. If Dhruva is servant, real servant, Krishna is real God. Dhruva wants to see God, is fixed to see him. God is also fixed to see him. Krishna is like that. So that's what this whole verse is about. This verse is all about love of God for his devotee, for his bhritya, for his devotees. What God can go to Krishna can go to any extent to please his devotees. Please his devotee. He didn't really go to meet Dhruva because he had to stop his meditation, or maybe even demigods asked him. Of course, that was the external reason. Because Krishna wanted to please even Krishna or Vishnu, he wanted to please even demigods. Demigods are devotees. So he can't deny their request. But then Dhruva was a much greater devotee than demigods. And especially being a child, 5-year-old child. And he wanted to express his love for him. And he said, okay, let me express my love by personally going to him. And he went there. So that's this verse all about determination, about love, about reciprocation of God for his devotees, and the surrender of his devotees to the the surrender of the devotees to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and also the fear of demigods, and how the demigods became free of fear when they took shelter of Krishna. The Krishna makes everybody fearless. Demigods, Dhruva, everybody. He is a perfect planner. He is a perfect. His actions are perfect and beyond perfection. By one action, he pleased demigods, he pleased Dhruva, and he arranged it perfectly. And that is why it is said, if we do devotion to Krishna, everything will become perfect, and everything will turn out to be perfect, and everything is perfect. That is what the story of Dhruva is all about. Determination, love, perfection, and seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face in 6 months. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anybody wants to ask any question? I'll just stop it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very, very beautiful class, Prabhuji. Can you one time repeat the meaning of Suruchi and Suniti?
So Niti means politics, but here politics is in a good sense. Politics means a system to manage people. Politics means policies to manage people. But the whole purpose of managing people is to make them good people, isn't it? The whole purpose of government is to make policies so that people become good. So Suniti means divine qualities. And Suruchi means attachment. Su means intense. Su means enjoying propensity. So Suruchi means sense gratification. So sense gratification destroys determination. Just as Suruchi made Dhruva leave his home, and Suniti gives birth to determination. That
Very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. I request other devotees, if they have any question or comments, they can go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You have mentioned the two meanings of the pada means, what the pada meanings. So I could hardly hear that.
Okay. So pada means lotus feet. Technically, pada means lotus feet.
Yes.
But pada also means knowledge, because in Sanskrit pada means also shlokas, and a part of shloka is called pada, or the paragraph is called pada sometimes, or the chapter is called pada. So Vedanta Sutra is called Shodash Pad, or 4 chapters, 4 sections. So pada is also used for knowledge. So where you divide knowledge into chapters and sections. So Uttan means supreme, beyond words of nature. So supreme knowledge. Supreme knowledge means knowledge of Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare. Yeah, so anybody wants to ask anything?
Very, very wonderful class, a different viewpoint. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And regarding determination, you said that how being selfless and the other qualities lead to determination.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we see that when our determination breaks, because not that the determination is always at the same level.
Mm-hmm.
So how to bring it up? Basically, when we fall down from our determination or qualities,
Mm-hmm.
how do we get back the strength to
by knowledge, and that's why determination is born of divine qualities. And when we fall down from divine qualities into divine qualities, that is fall down basically. Then you need the help of Father, that's a mother, and the Father is knowledge, and by knowledge we can overcome fall down. Then we can again pick ourselves up. That's why knowledge is very essential. So by knowledge, by philosophy, we will understand. Philosophy will teach us, okay, fine, I have fallen now, my determination is weak, so what should I do? Okay, what should I do? I should be double determined in this condition. because that will please Krishna more. If you're determined and you do devotion, that will please Krishna. But if you become weak and still keep on doing devotion, in spite of your feeling weak, then that will please Krishna the most. So philosophy will inspire you. Yes, my determination has gone weak. I've become weak. I'm falling. But Krishna is doing so many things for me. Krishna never forgets me. In spite of me forgetting and doing all this nonsense, still he keeps on helping me. And by thinking all these points, by knowing all these points, by knowing this knowledge, by knowing how Krishna is helping us at every moment, how Krishna is beside us at every moment, even if we are conscious or unconscious, he's always there. He's always attentive to our desires, like a God or like a father. And that just by knowing this and always remembering this, we'll be so much inspired to serve him, even when we become weak and even when we sometimes fall down. But again, so we'll be able to pick up ourselves up. So knowledge picks us up, like a father picks the child when it falls down. The father holds him and picks him up in his lap. Similarly, transcendental knowledge, like philosophical knowledge of Krishna, knowledge of scriptures, that will help us to bring in our determination back. Or be associated with knowledgeable people. But then the whole point comes again to knowledge, because the company of knowledgeable people is useful only when you get knowledge from them. Otherwise, what's the point of being with them? So that's why Prabhupada says, Kirtanam will give you happiness and reading will give you conviction. Prabhupada said this. So that's basically knowledge.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. And that is why I think devotees should read books. They should be in the habit of reading books, again and again, and discussing them. Otherwise we feel weak, our mind is disturbed, and then we can't pick ourselves up. And then it takes 1 week, 2 weeks to again come back to the same platform somehow or another. We climb back. Sometimes we can't even climb back. We are there in that position for years together. And we're just spending our time. Nothing happens. So reading books and understanding philosophy, that's of paramount importance. Yeah. Okay, if anybody wants to ask, then we can probably.
Hare Krishna, anybody else have any question? Okay, then we will end here. Let's pay our obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.